Hi, everyone. Welcome to Fearless Female Entrepreneurs. I am your host and the creator of the event. My name is Jocelyn Mercado, and I am so excited to welcome you here today. So, as you are joining, please go ahead and put your name and location in the chat. That way I can see where everybody's calling in from and see what a global audience we will have here. Okay, beautiful. Hi, Rose from Austria. Lauren Rose from Paris. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Louise from Illinois. Hi, Pamela. So glad to see you here from Iowa. Hi, Casey in Arizona. Janavi in India. Vaishnavi in India. I hope I'm saying your names right. Hi, Lola in Arizona. Stacy in Ohio. Misha in North Carolina. Hello, Rachel in the UK. Wonderful. So glad to see you all joining today. And I just cannot wait to share this event with all of you. I have had so much fun collaborating with the amazing women. There are a total of 20 of us now who are speaking on this event. I've just had so much fun connecting with everybody and seeing the brilliance. Oh my goodness, you all are going to be blown away by the brilliance of all of these women who are coming together and sharing their entrepreneurial expertise with you. I just can't wait. And so there are a few things that I want to say as we begin here. So first of all, again, I just want to extend the warmest welcome to all of you who are joining and who are watching live, as well as all those who will be watching this as a recording later. Welcome, welcome. And I just want to say, get ready to receive amazing expert advice and inspiration from 20 fierce feminine leaders and entrepreneurial experts who want to help you supercharge your own feminine thought leadership and ignite your own powerful rising. That is our goal. That is our goal for this gathering, and I just can't wait for you all to experience it. So a welcome to everyone who is still coming in and joining. Beautiful. Now, we started out planning to have 16 speakers for this event, but more and more speakers have been reaching out to me and saying yes over the past few weeks, and we're now up to 20 amazing women leaders. And I just can't wait for you to meet them all. So over the next 6 days, you are going to learn about an amazing variety of topics around entrepreneurship, such as how to earn full-time income in just 3 days per week with Kaylin Asher, how to market like a maverick with Tamika Awai, empowered women sell with ease and how you can do the same with Laura Wright, the power and potency of answering your soul with Claire Dubois, how to uncover your secret sauce as a speaker with Alexia Vernon, overcoming adversity with focus and prayer with Kiana Lachey, the power of money to change the world with Kendra E. Thornbury, using the power of archetypes to harness your brand magic with Teresa Pridemore, how and when to make the transition from employee to entrepreneur with Titilayo Tinubu Ali, and so many more. This is just a little taste of it, right? There are so many, so many incredible speakers and topics you're going to hear. And I'm just honored to be collaborating with each and every one of these amazing powerhouse women and bringing them to you, bringing them into your home or your office so that you can experience them too. And so I want to share just a few logistics about how this event will work this week. So every day, the first live interview will be at this time, the same as this first interview at 10 a.m. Eastern, that's 10 a.m. New York time, at the same Zoom link that you used to join this call. So you will be using the same Zoom link every single day. So you can bookmark that link, put it in your calendar, whatever you need to do. So it's really easy to access. I will also be sending daily emails, but you can join every single day even if you don't get the daily email for any reason. And almost every day, not today, but every other day, there will also be a live interview at 1 p.m. Eastern. Okay, so mark your calendar for starting tomorrow to be on this Zoom link at 10 a.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Eastern every day. And the live interviews are so special because, as you can see, you can type in the chat, you can have conversations with the other women who are attending and the men who are attending, and you can ask questions of the speaker after the main presentation is done. So it's really special and exciting. Now, after the live interviews for each day are completed, you are welcome to watch the pre-recorded interviews. And we'll have 2 pre-recorded interviews as well every day because, as you can imagine, with everybody's schedules, we couldn't get everybody on live this week. But we have lots of amazing and incredible wisdom that I've been pre-recording with these speakers over the last month or so. And the pre-recorded interviews will be made available each day starting at 12 noon Eastern. So just refer to your daily emails or to the event schedule page, and I'll put that link to the event schedule page in the chat right now. This is what you want to bookmark, and you want to always just be coming back to this to see what the schedule is and to get all the info to access both the live and the pre-recorded interviews. And if you're unavailable to attend any of the live calls, it's not a problem. We're recording all of them. They will all be made available as replays afterwards. And so you're not going to miss anything, so don't worry. Now, I created this event because every day in my business, in my coaching work, I meet women who are struggling in some way with building their business, with getting their important message out into the world, with expanding their reach and their tribe and their audience. And what I know is that as women, we have the power to change the world. And this power that we have is so, so deeply needed right now, as I'm sure you are all aware. And through our businesses and our sacred life's purpose work, we have the ability to change, for example, the economic system. We have the ability to redistribute the income through starting our businesses and bringing in the income for our families, and also sharing that money out and contributing to organizations that are doing good work in the world. We have the ability to shift the entire economic system. That is tremendous power. We also have the ability to create great social justice change through the actions, through the values that we carry forward in our business, and through the work that we're doing to make people's lives better in all different ways through our work. And we have the ability to inspire and empower so many other people, both men and women all around the world, who also have a life purpose related to creating change in the world. We have the ability to help them move forward in what they're meant to do. We can do this. We can create this change that is needed. And it begins with us. It begins with each and every one of you as individuals. And all of the work that you are doing, both in your business and on a personal growth level, is going to ripple out into the world in amazing and beautiful ways. So I just want to encourage you that whatever you're doing, wherever you are in your business, or haven't gotten it started yet, or maybe you've been doing it for a few years, or maybe you're just getting started right now, wherever you are, trust that. Know that you are at the exact perfect place on your journey. Know that you're going to receive so much from this week, and know that you can make a tremendous difference for our world. So I want each and every one of you to have the tools to up-level your lives and your businesses and change the world in your own way without the struggle, right? And there will always be challenges, right? And there will always be obstacles to overcome, but I want you to be able to leap past those and go through those with much less difficulty, because you have access to the information that is included in this conference this week, and you have access to all the expertise of the women here to really move forward and to really supercharge your thought leadership and your success and your income. I want you to have access to amazing mentors like myself and like all of the other women who are a part of this conference. So really listen in on each talk. See who resonates the most for you and decide who you might like to work with to guide you going forward. It's so important for us to have a mentor who can help us to see things from a different perspective, who can be there with us when things are more challenging or more difficult, who we can trust and who can really help you to rise up to being your highest self. I created this event because I know firsthand that starting your business is a transformational process. And what that means is that when you jump into creating a business, you are absolutely going to end up on a very profound personal journey as well. And very likely there will be significant changes that happen throughout your entire life, right? To all aspects of your life, whether it's relationships, career, where you live. All of these things tend to change when you really fully step into this journey. It almost always happens that way because this process of finding your voice and sharing your message and changing the world in the way that you are uniquely meant to do is an evolutionary journey toward your highest self. And while I'll admit that that journey is not always easy, the larger truth is that the joy that you're going to get from doing this amazing work will be beyond what you ever imagined possible. I know that has been the truth for me. It's been beyond what I ever imagined. And I certainly wouldn't want to live my life any other way. And I know you'll feel the same. And I know you probably already do. I want you to receive this wisdom and guidance this week from women entrepreneurs who have been there, who have been on that journey, and who understand what you are going through right now, and who can offer their inspiration and empowerment to you so you can fly through this evolutionary process and get all the way already to living the life you've always dreamed of. And I created this event because at this time on our planet right now, we as women have got to stand up for what we believe in. I'm going to talk a lot more about that in just a few moments here. But we have got to find our voices, and we have got to step up and take leadership, because there's so much in our world that has gotten off on the wrong track. And the power to really make the change that our world needs right now lies with us as women. I believe this so strongly. And I want to say something too to the men who are attending this event, because I know there are some men who are in attendance. And I want to say thank you so much, right? I want to say that if you are a man and you have made it through all of the invitations to the goddesses and the invitations to women, and you still wanted to sign up for this event, that tells me something about you. That tells me that you really care about the women in the world, and that you really care about the future of our world. And it tells me also that you're very, very smart, because you see that these women who will be speaking at this event will have amazing wisdom that you can use too. But I really want to welcome the men as well who feel called to attend this, whether live or watching it as a recording. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting women, for uplifting women, and for being here for us. Thank you. Thank you. So what I was saying, though, is that the power to really make the change we need in our world right now lies with us as women. We are the ones who can change everything. We are the ones who are going to be creating the higher vision of what's really possible and we're going to be the ones taking apart what doesn't work, and we're going to be the ones that build what does work going forward. We have the answers already within us. We as women have the ability to tap into the core of life and abundance and our dreams and our visions to understand what is really needed in our world right now. And every single one of you listening has the power to, first of all, change everything in your own world, and then go out and lend your voice and your wisdom to the collective evolution that is happening. And you have the power to play a critically important part in making vast and vital changes to our entire world. So it's our turn, ladies. It's your turn. And we need to be fearless. That's why the title of this event is so important. We need to be courageous. We need to get outside of our comfort zones. We need to do things that probably will feel a little scary, because that's how we reach the next level. That's how we create a completely new experience for ourselves, by getting outside of our comfort zone and seeing what more is possible, and then living in that new space, and then even expanding more from there. Both individually in our personal growth and evolution, and also in our work and in reaching the next level of how we are creating our world. And we know in our hearts that we are doing this, not just for ourselves, not just for our families right now, but also for our children and their future, and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren who will be born someday. And we can do this. We can step into our highest selves. We can create an entirely new way of doing business, a way that is based on the feminine principles, a way that breaks free from all of the old rules and restrictions, a way that we find when we follow our hearts and when we look into our souls. We can create businesses that fill us up, that give us freedom, and that create a bright future for the next generations. We can create businesses that are designed to empower and heal and uplift so many people around the world. We can create businesses that knock down the old models of corporate greed, or putting money before life, or putting political agendas ahead of social justice. And we can create businesses that create massive societal change, that rework our economic system, that put the power and the money back into the hands of those who understand what it is to do good in the world and to put in a good day's work. We can bring the power. That this part about money is so important, okay? Because what we have the ability to do by starting our businesses and by infusing our businesses with the values that we hold most important, we can bring the power and the money into our own hands through our businesses, and then use these gifts, use these resources to do good in our world. And just to give you a few examples of women in this conference who are already doing this. For example, Claire Dubois, her business Tree Sisters is on a mission to reforest the planet. I can't think of a better use for money than that, right? This is what we have the ability to do. And like Simone Wright, whose business is helping everywhere to connect with their intuition and live their truth. And like Sophia Tom, whose work helps women to reconnect with their bodies and with the sacred sexuality that all of our bodies have within, in positive and empowering ways, and really shifting the social dynamics in which we were pretty much all brought up. And also like Dr. Taria Ward, whose work helps people to understand the messages from their dreams and use that to live their life in a more positive way. All of these women that you will see speaking in Fearless Female Entrepreneurs were specifically chosen because they are creating powerful, positive change in the world through their voice, through their platform, their thought leadership, and using their resources in positive ways. And you can do the same. And so I want to say too, I just want to make a really strong point of this, and you'll hear this echoed in many, many, many of the future talks, but money and doing good really do go together. I know so many of us who are on a spiritual journey can get hung up because it seems like wanting to charge for our services, wanting to collect money is at odds with being a spiritual person, but that is a construct of our world that we need to really work to let go of. Money and doing good do go together. Money just allows us to be more of who we really are. It allows us to have a bigger impact in the world. And so we need to be able to welcome that money into our lives. And so many of the women on this conference are going to share with you some really powerful ways to do that. So all of this, I know, is what you're here for, right? You're here to make that positive impact. You're here to welcome in the resources so that they can be used for good in our world. That is what you're here for. And I invite you to be fearless throughout this event and really use this information to make it all happen for you. Entrepreneurship, from what my experience has certainly been, is probably more than anything else about moving beyond fear and getting comfortable with uncertainty. And it's also about taking action with heart and soul and integrity, even when that feels really scary. So with all of that in mind today, I want to share with you my talk for this conference, which is 3 secrets to being fearless in your life and business. And again, the fearless part, the courageous part is so important. And also another word that I thought about including in the title of this conference, but I decided it would make it too long, is fierce, right? Because we need to be fierce. We need to stand up for what we believe in. We need to stand up for our values, and we need to create our businesses in a powerful, powerful, fierce way. So just keep in mind that the fierce is definitely in there too, along with the fearless throughout this whole event. Okay, so let me share with you these 3 secrets to being fearless in your life and business. The very first secret is visibility. So if you have an important message to share, or if you're here to help people in any of a variety of different ways, or if you're here to help people make their amazing businesses successful, perhaps, then you've absolutely got to get visible, or else no one is going to know what you're offering. And I know that sounds like a statement where you would say, duh, of course, but let's get real here. The thing is that so many of us who know that we're called to an entrepreneurial path, who know that we're called to do this soul's mission work, so many of us are hiding out and staying in the closet and playing smaller than we really should. We tend to not fully claim our full brilliance. Have you ever played small? I know we all have, right? I know I have. I have too in the past. And I know one thing for sure. You are brilliant. And you need to claim that. And you need to be able to shout it out for the world to hear. Really claim your power. Really claim your very, very unique expertise. So here's the thing. If you have a dream of growing your business and helping other people, if you have a passion and a plan and excitement around your work and you can't wait to make it all happen, then I want you to know that none of that is a mistake, right? You were given that drive and that passion for a reason. It's because this is your purpose. This is what you are here, that this is what you were born into this world to bring forward. And the really important thing to know about this, so if you were given this drive and this passion and this life purpose, there are other people who are here that need exactly what you're going to offer. This is one of the universal laws, that if we have one side of an equation, the other side of the equation always exists. So if you have the drive and the passion to offer something to the world, you can be absolutely certain that there are plenty of other people out there just waiting for you to show up in their world, just waiting for you to bring that gift forward and help them. But unless you get visible, those people who are out there, who are waiting for you, who are perfect to work with you, who truly need exactly what you're offering, are never going to find you. And so visibility is very exciting, right? Because we get to speak our voice, we get to speak our message, but it's also terrifying because we're going to be really seen. You know, when we put ourselves out there in a big way, we're going to be really seen. But if we're feeling afraid of being visible, if any of you out there are hearing me speak and are really feeling afraid of being visible, then that is when we especially need to step up and embrace visibility. We need to go toward what we're afraid of. So here are some ways that you can become more visible. And I want to give you some really practical ideas here, okay? Because I think all of you listening are saying, okay, yes, I can see I need to be more visible, right? But here are some really practical ways to do that so that you can take these and start putting them into action right away. So first of all, start making videos. Now, even if you're not publishing them out to the public yet, just start playing around and having fun with creating videos. Everyone loves videos. You know, people online are much more likely to watch a video than to read a long article. Now, that's not universally true, and there is great value in blogging and in writing and all of these things, but videos are a really powerful way to get your message out there right now. And so just play around. I use Zoom. That's what this conference is going to be based on, all the live interviews, right? You can get a free Zoom account and just start speaking. And a lot of my clients are writers who are hesitant to get on video because they love expressing themselves through writing. And honestly, I'm the same way. So I want to encourage you to, if you have something that you think would be great on video, go ahead and write it all out. Write it out like you were going to do a blog post or an article or whatever it might be that you most like to write, or a poem. Write it all out and then get on video and just keep your notes there on like a Word document on the screen, and put your Zoom on the other side of the screen and just speak what you have already written. And it will be so powerful. So if you're a writer and you've hesitated to be on video, I really encourage you to do that. Use your writing to make amazing videos. Okay. Also, just practicing is going to be so important, but then keep an eye out for when you're feeling ready, when you're feeling inspired to really put your video out there. Okay. And start putting it out there. So, you can do this in so many different ways. You can do Facebook Lives. You can do Instagram stories. You can create a live webinar. You can have it be free at first, or you can have it be paid, right? Whatever you want, whatever you feel is right for your audience. Or you can make videos and send them out in emails to your audience. Maybe if you've always been sending blog posts, start sprinkling in a few emails here and there to really get your audience engaged and get them excited about new things that you're doing. There are so many options. A really powerful way to get out there on video is to launch your YouTube channel in a big way. I've done this recently, and I will tell you that your YouTube channel is a powerful list building machine. So if that sounds exciting to you, give that a try. Go ahead and start posting some videos on your YouTube channel. The second way that I want to share with you to get visible is very, very exciting. And it is to create your own conference or summit or online event like this one. So if you love what you're experiencing here in the Fearless Female Entrepreneurs, and if you're so excited about the whole week of speakers coming up, guess what? You can do this too. You can create a summit that is around a topic that just lights you up and is so exciting for you to talk about. And you can speak to speakers and interview them and let them come in and talk about your chosen topic, but from all different perspectives. It's absolutely amazing. And now you need a proven system in order for this to really be successful. But this model of creating a summit or an online conference is an extremely powerful way to build your audience very quickly. So if you've been struggling where you know what your message is, you are ready to get your voice out there, and you just haven't been able to reach people in the way that you want, you haven't been able to grow your list, you haven't been able to charge what you really want for your offerings, this is a very powerful way to do that, right? To bring in new tribe members, to earn immediate income, and then be able to set up multiple revenue streams afterwards. And you can seriously call in your ideal clients this way. It's really, really powerful. And at the same time, you are making a generous free offering that's going to change so many people's lives, right? That you can do this for free, and you can allow people to access all of the wisdom of your speakers, right? And you can be changing the world on a massive scale in that way, and changing people's lives in a beautiful way, but also earn income. And my free gift is a chance to learn more about this opportunity, so stay tuned. And then the third way is to get visible, that you can take immediate action on, is to start really reaching out to get on other people's podcasts and other people's interview series. So are there podcasts that you love and you know that you could speak on? You know that you have the expertise that would be very, resonate perfectly with what the podcast is all about. Reach out to them. And are there any recurring summits or interview series that you've seen that you would love to be a part of? Reach out to them. Don't be shy. One thing that I have learned in doing this work is that it never hurts to ask if you can be a part of something, because the other person may also be looking for people to be a part of what they've created, and you may be the perfect person. You may be the perfect match for them. So if you want to be discovered, you've got to put yourself out there. You've got to ask. You've got to be visible. So I hope these are some inspiring ways that will get you fired up about being visible and about taking some steps to really get your message out there. Now, the second secret to being fearless in your life and business is to take a strong stand. Decide what you stand for, even if it's polarizing, Actually, especially if it's polarizing, especially if it's going to ruffle some feathers. And stop worrying about what other people might think and take your stand. So if you think about the most successful people that you know and look at how they have become successful, very, very likely they have taken a stand for something. Very likely they have taken a polarizing stand, okay? And most likely, in fact, almost definitely, they've had some negative comments along the way from people who do not agree with them. And when you take a strong stand for your message, for your values, for what you believe, you might get some negative comments too. And that is okay. It's actually good if you're ruffling some feathers, because that means you're getting people fired up with your important message. And so there might be people out there who are getting fired up in a negative way and they don't like what you're saying. And you know what? You can let that go, because what that means is there are also other people out there getting fired up and excited in a really positive way and resonating with you and seeing the truth of what you're sharing. This is about this piece about really taking a strong stand is about delivering the message that only you can bring into the world in exactly your unique way. So I encourage you, if you don't know yet what your strong stand is, I'm going to give you some questions in a minute to journal about. But I want you to really think about, what is my strong stand? What is it that I believe in? What is it that I am speaking about or need to be speaking about that is going to set me apart from everybody else? That's going to really let everybody know the truth of my personality and see my full self-expression and to see my boundaries, to see what I will and won't take, right? Because when you do this, it sets an example for others to also stand up for what they believe in. And perhaps most importantly here, as far as entrepreneurship is concerned, taking a strong stance allows you to claim a very unique niche that perhaps others have been afraid to claim. So many of my clients that I work with, they want to serve everyone, right? They don't want to narrow down that niche. It's very difficult to narrow down that niche. What I have found is that if you're struggling to narrow down who you're serving, which we all know, right, is very, very important so that you can actually, create higher income and be working with more of the exact right people, right? It's so important to narrow down your niche. If you're struggling with that, think about what is your strong stand and be ready and willing to let go of the people who don't resonate with that. That's going to help you right away to narrow your niche. When you take a stand, it allows you to be clear and focused about who you are and what you are here to do. And the real magic of that is when you become clear and focused about what you're offering, that is when the money and the income can flow in so much more freely. You will be amazed if you are trying this anew, okay? So if you feel right now like you are lacking focus or clarity in your business, then the fearless thing you need to do right away is to take a strong stand. So I'm going to give you some journaling questions that will help you to get clear on what your stand is. And I will put this in the chat, and I will also put these questions on the page where the replay of this interview is playing. But let me just read them to you now, and if you have a notebook or a journal handy, then go ahead and get it out and write these down. Question 1 is, what do you believe in? Question 2 is, what is it that you find you're always talking about? What is that topic that just lights you up to talk about? Question 3 is, what is it that when you start talking about it, you get a lot louder and more passionate about it as you go along? That's a sure sign that that's your strong stand. Fourth question is, what do you find yourself saying to your clients again and again? The fifth question is, what do you want to shout from the rooftops? What is it that you think everybody needs to know about? And the sixth question is, what is a value statement that you feel is very important for people to understand, that you feel maybe that enough people are not getting or are not understanding clearly enough? All right, let me put these in the chat so that you can see those questions and write them down. And Linda, I see your question in the chat here. I'm going to answer all the questions at the end of the talk here. That's what we'll do with all the speakers each day in the live interviews. So don't worry, we'll get to your question. Okay, so here is a really good way to journal with these questions. Again, this is very practical. You can take action on this right away and get some really amazing insights. So get out your journal, set a timer for 5 minutes, and write at the top of the page, inner wise woman, what is my strong stand? And just write and write and write. Okay, this is one way to approach it. Or, and you know, accessing your inner wise woman is going to get you in touch with your intuition. It's going to get you in touch with your knowing, your soul's purpose, knowing about what you're meant to do here. Now, the other thing you can do is for each and every one of these questions, I recommend that you get out your journal, get out a timer, your cell phone stopwatch function, and set a timer for maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes per question. Then just write at the top of the page, for example, what do I believe in? And set the timer. So let's say it's 3 minutes. What you want to do is forget about time and space. Try to sink down into your intuitive self, into that inner knowing, and just write and write and write and write. Just free write, so that you're not really worrying about, does this make a lot of sense? Is this a logical answer? Da, da, da. Just write, okay? Just write whatever comes out. You may get some crazy stuff. You may get some inner self-talk voice coming out. You may get some crazy new ideas coming through. Who knows? Just let it flow until that timer goes off. The timer is just so you don't have to think about time, so you can just sink into the space, right? So spend 2 or 3 minutes with your timer, journaling on each of these questions and see what comes up. Now, one thing I recommend when you're doing this type of journaling, this free writing, once you have done all your writing, put your notebook or your journal away for about 24 hours, and only then come back to it, because you want to kind of let it all just all clear out of your mind, and then come back to it with a fresh, clear, clean look, and go through with a colored pen or with a highlighter and circle or highlight all the things that either feel really important or that surprise you, okay? And then look at all of it together and see what you have and see what keeps coming up, see what themes keep coming up in lots of different answers to different questions, right? Just see what stands out to you when you come back to it 24 hours later. This is a really powerful exercise that you can use for this and for, of course, lots of other self-inquiry type questions. Really powerful. So I encourage you to do that later today. Okay, so find your strong stand through this exercise and focus all of your messaging around that. So really think about, how can you bring that into your website copy? How can you bring that into your email, maybe your newsletters that you're sending out to people? How can you bring that strong stand into any programs that you're creating or products that you're creating? Once you get clear on your strong stand, your messaging and your offers will also become more and more crystal clear, and it will be so much easier for people to say yes to working with you. Really, really trust me on this one. This is really big. This can shift things big, big time for you. Okay, so the third secret to being fearless in your life and business is to follow your intuition, follow your dreams, and follow your spiritual guidance. Now, this is a tip that you're not going to hear in most online business training programs that are about, funnels and strategies, et cetera, et cetera. But this is core and central to the way I live my life, the way I have built my business, and to everything that I teach my clients. And actually, referring back to the second point that I just talked about, this is one of my really strong stands. So here's the thing. You are here on a mission. If you are listening to this interview, I'm about 110% certain that you are not running your business solely just to make a big pile of money and, consume and buy everything that you can find, right? The thing is that, yes, as I mentioned earlier, the money is important because it allows us to have the freedom and to make the impact in the world that we really want, that we need. But for true feminine leaders, the main reason that you've gotten into this whole exciting and crazy entrepreneurial scene in the first place is because you're on a mission. You want to change the world. You want to help people. You want to create massive positive impact. And this mission did not just arise out of your logical thinking mind one day, like, oh, this would be a good idea. No, the truth is that this mission is a core and essential part of who you are. It's coming from your soul, right? And it's a key part of why you are alive right now at this time when our world is changing so quickly. It is your life's purpose. And the ideas that you've had all along about starting this business and how you're meant to help others and what you are taking a strong stand for, it comes through you and it comes into you by way of inspiration and vision, right? Not just out of some strategic, logical plan. The reason that you wanted to start this business is about something bigger than just you. It's part of the larger plan for our collective reality as humanity. And it's coming through from your intuition and your inner wisdom and your very, very profound, maybe more profound than you even know, understanding of what our human collective needs right now. And it's coming through from your dreams, right? It's coming through from your spiritual guidance. And so as a result, when we go to create whatever it is that we're doing in our business, such as whether it's online courses or coaching programs or products or services, we need to constantly, continuously come back to our intuition and our dreams and our spiritual guidance so that we can be constantly receiving the highest version of that vision and creating it into physical reality. We need to always be coming back to that central core reason that we're doing this in the first place. And so when you jump into doing business, it can be very easy to get, off on a whole other track that's completely reliant on our thinking mind and on, the whatever the latest marketing strategy is or whatever, right? So if we're following somebody else's rules about, oh, I need to have a funnel, or I need to run Facebook ads, or I need a lead magnet, or all of the other details and technology pieces, we're getting away from that core guidance that inspired us to do all of this in the first place. Now, there's nothing wrong with funnels or Facebook ads or lead magnets, okay? And some of those may be very, very important to your business success, and that's fine. But what I'm talking about here is that you want to get back to your own sovereignty and honor the fact that the insights are coming through you. Okay, there is a unique and important message that you are here to deliver. There is a unique and critically important way that you're meant to help people. And you don't want to get too caught up in trying to copy how somebody else is running their business. This is also really important when you're choosing a mentor. You don't want to choose somebody who's just going to try to get you to do it their way, okay, to build your business in the exact same way that they did. That may or may not be right for you, very likely would not be right. You want to find a mentor who is going to be there to support you and give you lots of strategies and expertise and information that will guide you on your way, but ultimately allow you to create very uniquely what you are meant to do. So when you can get in touch with your intuitive guidance and your spiritual guidance, then you will always know exactly how to move forward. Now, sometimes some insights come through more quickly than others, and sometimes we have to ask again and again, like, what's the right way to move forward? And that's fine. But very often when we are really in touch with that inner guidance, we can receive, for example, just like the perfect title for that new online course that you're creating will just come right through. You'll know exactly what it's meant to be called. Or you'll know exactly what topic to speak about in your podcast interview that you have now that you're being more visible. Or when choosing a mentor to work with, you'll have a deep sense for exactly who is the very best person who will help you grow and expand both personally and professionally. If you're deciding between two people to work with, for example, it will help you to know exactly which way to go. So, how can you strengthen your ability to access your intuition and your spiritual guidance? So, there are a few, again, very practical recommendations that I have for you here. So first of all, I recommend having a regular daily practice. Now, this does not have to be meditation for an hour every morning. It can be whatever really lifts you up, helps you to center, helps you to focus, and helps you to get in touch with that larger plan, that reason you're doing all of this that is bigger than just you. So maybe it's yoga. Maybe it is meditation. Maybe it's time outside in nature. Maybe it's time sitting in front of your altar each morning. Or maybe it's when you're running that those big insights really come through. Maybe it is a practice of shamanic journeying. Whatever your daily practice is, I recommend that you really, really establish this, really make it important. And again, it doesn't have to be an hour a day. It can even be 5 minutes a day. Probably 15 minutes a day or more is best, right? But even if you only have 5 minutes a day, start there. Start there and make it a daily practice. And so when you're doing this daily practice, I recommend that every day ask your higher self or your spiritual guides questions about what you're meant to do, especially if there are ways that you're feeling stuck or ways that you just don't know how to move forward with something, whether it's personal or professional. Ask, what is the best way for me to handle this challenge that I just can't see to the other side of, right? Or if you're deciding between two different options and you just don't know what to pick, ask your higher self, ask your spiritual guides. If you're trying to create a new online course and you're not sure if it should be that topic or the other topic or what will be best for your audience, ask during your daily practice. Just open up to receive that information. You'll be absolutely amazed at what comes through and how much more quickly you'll be able to move forward and really take decisive action on things because you'll have this information that you just can't get it from your logical mind. Or maybe if you're thinking about expanding your business in a new direction, ask your inner wisdom if this is a good use of your energy to do so right now. So when we tap into the higher intelligence within us and the higher intelligence of the universe in this way, there are 3 very important things that happen. So one is it allows us to get out of our limited, linear thinking mind that can very often be caught in fear and doubt, right? And keep us paralyzed because, oh my gosh, I don't know which one is right. What if I do the wrong thing, et cetera, et cetera. It allows us to just let go of all that, to just shoot right past those limitations and get to the higher truth about the situation, the larger plan, right, around the decision that we're trying to make. Secondly, it connects us to our larger purpose, the aspect of our business that is larger than just you or me. It connects us in with that. And the third way is that it opens us up to see new and different opportunities or possibilities that we otherwise wouldn't have had access to. So I believe so very strongly that a huge part of doing business in a different way, creating a completely new way of doing business in our world and bringing the feminine principles into our life and business is about opening up way more space to receive the vision, to receive that information from our intuition and our guides. That is the feminine, the part of ourselves that can receive the vision. That is the absolute essence of the feminine and the creative principle of our world. So once we can open up in that way and receive that information, then, and this is how we can be really balanced with our masculine and feminine, right? Then we can use our masculine abilities to implement it and make it happen. And I want to say, for this, everything you're going to hear throughout this whole conference, we're going to be talking about the feminine because I feel so strongly that in our world, and especially in business and how we're trained to operate in the business world, business responsibilities, we've gone so far over to the side of being too focused on the masculine and taking action and, you know, just going, having the endless to-do list, et cetera, et cetera. And what I think we need to bring in more is the feminine part of us that is creative, where we're tapping into our creativity, we're tapping into our inner wisdom and receiving the vision that will really allow us to move forward in big leaps and bounds rather than little small steps, right? But we've got to be able to receive that vision and then use our masculine side to implement it and make it happen and take action in positive ways. So finding the balance of these two is critical. And this is how I recommend that you do that, right? Set aside this time in your daily practice, ask the questions, receive the vision, and then you will know how to go out and take action on it. Okay, so I want to share with you my free gift as promised earlier in the conversation, and I'm going to put a link in the chat for you to go out and claim this gift in just a second. And also, if you're watching this as a recording, just scroll down a little bit below my video screen here and you'll see the link to click on to go and claim this free gift. Now, for my free gift, I'm going to choose 5 lucky winners to receive a free one-on-one consultation with me on the topic, visibility equals higher income. Okay, so these calls will be 45 minutes each, and during the call, I will give you laser-focused guidance and recommendations around how to create a whole new level of visibility and income for your business. So whether you're just getting started or whether you've already been in business for a while, this is right for you, okay? We will adapt this and take this from wherever you are right now, and we will look at how visibility can bring you much higher levels of income than what you're experiencing right now. So this link that I'm putting in the chat right now will take you to an application that you can fill out. And as I said, I'm going to randomly choose 5 lucky winners to receive that. And I can't wait to talk with those 5 amazing people, amazing women. Now, very important, please only apply for a free session with me if you are prepared to get out of your comfort zone and be fearless, okay? Because that's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about how to have courage and become more visible so that you can make amazing income. Kate, I see, is this only for new clients? No, go ahead and apply. Everybody, even if you're already my client, go ahead and apply. Definitely. I don't want it to be limited at all in that way. Okay. So I also want to remind you all that the special $79 price for unlimited lifetime access to all 20 interviews in this Fearless Female Entrepreneur series ends tomorrow, okay? So after Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern, the price is going up to $99, okay? So I'm going to put a link in the chat, and again, if you're watching this as a recording, the link will be right below the video. Here's the link to go and purchase lifetime access, and with that you will get downloadable audio and video files to all 20 interviews. You will also get ongoing access to all of the free gifts that are a part of this event from all 20 speakers, and also there are 6 select speakers who are giving extra bonus gifts, and you'll get those too, and those are only available to people who purchase unlimited lifetime access. So go ahead and purchase that now for only $79. This offer is just for the pre-event and very beginning of the event, so go ahead and claim that now. Okay, so I'm going to open this up for Q&A in just a moment, but I just want to say I want to thank all of you once again for participating in Fearless Female Entrepreneurs, for showing up here, for taking this action, because just showing up here, okay, in and of itself is a very powerful, decisive action that is going to help you move your business forward in so many ways. And I want to say I'm so glad that each and every one of you are part of this global tribe of women who are dedicated to lighting the feminine fire of change and revolution in our world, and who are leading the way by how you are creating and running your amazing businesses. Really and truly, thank you from all of my heart for following your heart and following your dreams, and thank you for all that you're already doing to create massive positive change in our world. Okay, So let's go over to the Q&A now. So there are a couple of ways that you can ask me questions. You can either post a question in the chat, or you can raise your hand and then I will call on you and bring you over on video or on audio so that you can ask me the question in person. And I love to answer the questions in person, so I encourage raising your hand, okay? Also, since we're talking about visibility, raising your hand will make you more visible. So I encourage you to do that just as a first step if you're, especially if you're feeling tentative about it. Okay, so let me just look in the chat here for questions because I know there were a couple of them. Okay, wonderful. Casey asked to repeat number 3. I think maybe you meant how when we tap into the higher intelligence within us, what happens. So Casey, I'm going to put that in the chat. There were three things. I just put that there. So hopefully that's what you were looking for. Okay. Okay, Monique is asking, could you say a little more about the value statement? Could you give an example? Okay, yes. All right, let me think about a really good example for this. So a value, you know, your values, of course, are what you live by, like what you make your decisions on throughout your entire life, and of course in creating your business, which is an important part of your life. So, you know, a value statement could very well be the one that I use in that I made, you know, that is number 3 point in my talk here, which is that it is critical for us, especially as women, but for men too, right? But especially as women, to tap into our inner wisdom and our spiritual guidance in order to create our business. Okay, so that's a value statement. Another value statement might be something like, you know, it's important for us to earn an amazing income so that we can do even more amazing good work in the world, right? So it's like, what's really important? Like, what are kind of the keys to a good life, or the keys to a good business, or the keys to making our most powerful impact in the world? Does that make sense? Hopefully that's helpful, Monique. I'm thinking of these along business terms, but of course there are, you know, personal value statements too. Like, you know, a value statement would be, I'm always looking out for my neighbors. You know, that would be like a personal value statement. I'm always looking out for my neighbors, and I want the people in my community to know I'm there for them. You know, for example, that'd be another more personal value statement. Okay, Casey, you were looking for the 3 secrets in my talk. Okay, so the first secret is visibility. The second secret is to take a strong stand. And the third secret is to follow your intuition, your dreams, and your spiritual guidance. Those are the 3 secrets. Okay. Okay, Monique, we'll see you later. I don't want you to get booted off the train. Okay. Okay, so go ahead and raise your hands if you have a question, if you'd like to ask a question. Can you give an example of taking a strong stand? Okay, yes. So let me think again. This is similar to the answer I just gave to Monique, but taking a strong stand. So, you know, I'm gonna keep using the same example because I think it's a good illustration. Like, I take a strong stand that we need to use our intuition and our spiritual guidance in order to make business decisions. And as I said, that's not something that you're going to find in most kind of mainstream business training programs. And some hardcore like marketing or salespeople might disagree with me. They might say, no, you need to be logical and factual and you know, like plan strategically and that kind of a thing. And so I feel very strongly, and my strong stand around that is that we can actually leap ahead more quickly, and we can actually make better decisions in our business if we are following our intuition and our higher guidance. Okay, so that's a strong stand that might be very polarizing to some people. Like, I think in the people who are here in this audience, that probably resonates for you. certainly makes sense to me, has been my life experience. But for other people outside of these circles, maybe in more mainstream ways of doing business, that might be very polarizing. And they might think that's ridiculous to mix spirituality with your business, that kind of thing. So hopefully that gives you a good example of Vaishnavi. Okay, good. I'm glad that made a lot of sense. Awesome. Now I know somebody just raised their hand and then, okay, good. So let's see. Ria, let me bring you over, Ria. Thank you for being visible and raising your hand. That is awesome. Love it. Okay. Okay, so Ria, I think I should be able to hear you now. Go ahead and ask your question.
Oh, no, I didn't realize. So, yes. So, I know that I have a very polarizing stand. It's around birth, and it's very different to how the mainstream profession views birth. Do you think it's ever useful to like come in at a much less controversial level and then work your way up, or just to sort of protect yourself and to gently ease people in from one angle to the other? Or do you think it's best to just go straight in with, this is my stand, I'm sorry, you're not going to like it, but here it is?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to mute you because we have Okay, so that's an excellent question, Ria. Thank you so much for asking that. So I think it depends where you are in your business. Now, understandably, if you're just starting out, you might want to take things a little bit slow on taking the extremely polarizing strong stand. I understand that. That makes sense. Like you want to start getting people in your corner around maybe a little bit softer message. And then as you continue on your entrepreneurial journey and your audience is expanding, then you'll be more easily able to start taking the really strong stand and kind of allow yourself to evolve into that. And then your audience members who are ready for that will stay with you. Let me know if that makes sense.
Yes, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be speaking or typing now, but yes, it does make sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to type that.
And do you mind sharing with us, what is your polarizing stand? I would love to hear. If you certainly don't have to, but in the interest of being visible, I invite you to just state it here.
I mean, in terms of the groups that I'm part of, I'm a doula. It's not very polarizing. We say that birth has been way too medicalized and that it should be brought to a much more natural place, and that maternity care should be way more woman-centered and less sort of focused on obstetrics and gynecology. So for me, it's not very polarizing, and for my colleagues, it's not. But I think because of the mainstream media and the way that it's shown people birth, I think for us to go in and say, oh, but everyone, you could do it without pain relief and you could do it at home without going to hospital, that might be a bit too a strong message for many people.
Right. Yeah. So here are my thoughts on that. I feel that message that you are carrying, I think, is absolutely critically an important shift that our society needs to make, to reclaim the wisdom of our bodies as women and our abilities to give birth without medical, all kinds of medical interventions. So important for the health of women, for the health of babies, and really for our, where we're going collectively in our society. So I wholeheartedly encourage you to step into that strong stand as soon as you feel comfortable with it. The thing is, as I said, I understand wanting to go a little bit softly with it at the beginning as you're building your audience, building your business, and then you can kind of evolve it when you're ready. But the truth is that, the people that you're meant to change their lives, the people that need to hear that strong stand are out there. And so I encourage you to step into serving those specific people, as soon as you can. And I know that's obviously why you're wanting to do your business, right? Is to serve those people. I think your message is really strong and important. So with your particular case, I encourage you to step into that polarizing stand as soon as you feel intuitively comfortable about it. Hopefully that makes sense.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you for that question. It's really, really good. And many blessings on your work that you are doing. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Okay, any other questions? Would anybody else like to raise their hand and ask a question or put a question in a chat? Okay, Earthkeeper, love your name. Here, let me bring you over. And also, you can keep your video on if you want to be extra visible, or you can turn your video off. That's
Oops.
okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, welcome. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm so um, thankful to be on your call here today, and you've touched on some really important things. I'll be brief. I have been on a journey of bringing a powerful, ancient medicine way that is of the divine feminine and returning it back to women. And I'm just embarking upon making a huge quantum leap in doing so and bringing this. I've been online for some years now, but this is now it's time. It is my time. And so I'm wanting to know how to begin, to start, so that I've really doing this in the right way. Connecting. I heard what you said about YouTube. I did hear that, and about video. Yes.
Yeah, so I do feel so strongly that those ways of being visible are really right from the beginning. Um, and because the thing is that our world is changing so quickly, as I'm sure you probably resonate with in the work that, as I understand it, that you're doing. Our world is changing so quickly. We're being called to evolve very rapidly right now. And I think that's because we need to take quick action right now, like in your work of sharing earth wisdom. Um, the world needs that so deeply, so profoundly right now. So for that reason especially, I encourage you to step up and to start getting on video as soon as you can. I think that's just such a powerful way to share your message and to begin really stepping into the strong stand that you want to take, because there are so many people out there that need to hear that from you. So I would encourage you to be visible in that way, and as soon as you can. And YouTube is a great way to do it. YouTube is so just a little bit of slightly more technical information about YouTube. YouTube and Google are one and the same. So if you're putting your videos out there on YouTube, one thing you want to do that's really important is to make the title of your video whatever people are going to be putting in the Google search bar to find out more about the topic you're speaking of. Okay, and that's how you can get your videos to rank really high on YouTube, because your videos are matching the searches that people are making to learn more about whatever you're teaching. And so if you're ranking high on YouTube, you're going to rank high in Google. And from YouTube, you can send people to your website and have them join your newsletter, or have them find out about your next webinar or conference or whatever you're offering, as well as read your blog and get involved in your programs, whatever's going on. So YouTube is a really powerful way. I do recommend that as a strong way to get started. Depending on what level of visibility you're ready for, creating a summit like this is also something that you can do from very early on in your business. You don't need to be 5 years into your business to create a summit like this. I have lots of students and clients who I've worked them through the process of creating a summit when they were just getting started, and it allowed them to start off very, very strong. It allows you to step right into your thought leadership, to start out with a very strong and dedicated and engaged audience right from the beginning, so you can really do that important work that you're wanting to do. So those are my top 2 ideas for you.
Very helpful. Thank you. And I really can see that you have done, committed yourself in the work that you're here to do. And so I wish to just take a moment and celebrate that. It's so much needed in, this change that we're making with co-creating with each other, a new world.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
we are.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing. It's really, really important what you're doing, and many blessings on your work too.
Yes. And I wish to ask, is reaching out to you privately, how would I do that? Oh, the link that you sent, I could do that, do it that way.
Yes,
Awesome.
fill out that application.
Right.
When you fill that out, let me know that that your name, as I saw it on here, was Earthkeeper, and that's how I'll be able to recognize you, and I'll have
Thank you. I will.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
And you.
Thanks. Okay. And I love the messages to Ria in the chat. So Ria, I hope that gives you some real, confidence and courage. Your message is so important. And the children coming into this world need what you are here to share. The children need you. And so, again, it's much bigger than just us. It's even much bigger than the moms you'll be working with as a doula, right? It's so much bigger. So yeah, good. Okay. Let's see, Jacqueline, let me bring you over here to talk with me. And again, I welcome you to keep your video on, but you can turn it off if you want, whatever you prefer. Hi, Jacqueline. Let's see, hold on. Could you unmute yourself? It's not letting me unmute you. Oh, there we go. I was able to unmute you. Hi, welcome. Oh, I still can't hear you though. Hold on. Can you unmute yourself from your side? It's still not letting me unmute you.
Is that better?
Oh, now I can hear you.
Okay, hi.
Hi, welcome.
I didn't realise I forgot about the video, but anyway, I've been trying to start a business for a very long time as a coach, and I've been focusing on the idea of the workplace and being working with ladies that are unhappy in the workplace and helping them to discover who they really are so that they can go off and do their own business, start their own business or work in a way that suits them. But that's not the thing I rant and rave about. What I really rant and rave about is around race, actually. But from the perspective of someone with Afro-Caribbean ancestry, that the idea that it's almost like the idea of don't wait for other people to almost like don't wait for other people to accept you, or as you are because of your color of your skin or culture, but start changing how you view yourself, so that the world will change around you. That's the kind of thing that keeps, that I will go on about. And I also go on about children as well, how children are treated. As and I'm kind of thinking it's connected within the culture as well, actually. That if I was to say, not so much me, but a woman of Afro-Caribbean culture, say, once she understands who she is at a personality level and at a spiritual level, at energetic level, then she'd be more able to raise her children accordingly. She'll be able to rearrange her life so that she can be with her kids and she has a different way of being with her children. But if I'm totally honest, I'm really scared to put that out there because I know that will set off bombs, I think.
Yeah, I hear you. And I think that on a certain level, those two messages, the two that you say that, that you get really passionate about are one and the same, right?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I'm not quite sure how to link them in necessarily so I don't confuse other people, but yeah, I can see they are connected because how we were brought up as children. Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is that the people who are out there who need you the most really need to hear exactly what you just said, right? These things that that you rant and rave about, right? That I love how you say that you rant, because that's such a good way to put it. Like, what do we rant and rave about? Because that's what we need to be saying. Like, you were put here with a fire in your heart about those topics. And the people who, so in order to grow your business in the way that's most aligned with your soul and in the way that's going to be able to take off the most quickly in its success, I so deeply and also intuitively I'm sensing too, but I so deeply believe for you that yes, you need to get that message out there. You really do. And then the right people are going to know that you're the person for them.
Okay.
You know, and they're going to come and they're going to find you, and everything's going to take off in a whole new way, right? Because when we're kind of delivering this slightly other message that's also very important, but it's not aligned with that passion, it's like not fully the same as that passion that you have within our message, you know, it's a little bit dampened, it's a little bit hidden. Right. But when you get out there with what you really feel most passionate about, the right people are going to find you, and everything's going to shift in a really positive way.
Thank you.
So yeah. So have courage. The world needs you. The world needs your unique message.
Okay. Thank you very much. I will think about that. I'll ponder a bit more how I would do that and get my courage up.
Yeah. Trust and believe in yourself. Believe in that fire that's within you. It's not a mistake. You have that for a very important reason.
Thank you so much for your
yeah.
You know what I mean. Thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Many, many blessings to you.
And to you too. Thank you very much.
Yes, and good luck, and you'll, that courage, it will come. It will rise up.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay. Oh, and yes, Jacqueline, look in the comments, because there's definitely at least one comment in there for you that might be helpful about June Allen. Okay, wonderful. And yeah, I love how people are making connections already in the chat. This is a big part of this community. So I want to give you the link. Actually, let me just pull this up now. I want to give you the link to our Facebook group for this event, or I'm sorry, it's a Facebook page for this event. And I really encourage everybody to go and like that page and also talk with each other. It is a page, so you would just need to be commenting on existing posts, okay? But go ahead and do that. Go ahead and comment on the post and strike up conversations, or find each other on Facebook. It's under, it's under Fearless Fierce Entrepreneurs on Facebook, because Fearless Female Entrepreneurs was already taken, but you'll find it. You'll find it, and I put the link in the chat there. So let's really create a global community here where we can support one another, give each other ideas like you're all already doing in the chat here, and find each other on social media and connect and create new things by these partnerships and these new friendships that are forming. That's such an important part of what I designed this event to do. So really, really take advantage of that and enjoy that. And I know you'll all benefit from that too. So I'm going to go ahead and close the call now. Thank you all so much for being here live. And so today there are not any more live interviews, but there will be 2 pre-recorded interviews. The first one is with Simone Wright. She is absolutely incredible. She is a master of intuition, and she is going to help you figure out how to move forward in your business. And the second one is from Tamika Awai. She is a marketing maverick and a social media maverick, and she's going to teach you how to be a maverick as well in your business. So go ahead and keep an eye out for the email that will tell you when all of the interviews are available, and then you can go and watch them. Or also, anytime after 12 noon Eastern, you can go to the event schedule page. And let me put that in the chat here too. This is the event schedule page. Again, you can go here anytime during the event and just check and see what interviews are available right now and watch them right away. So enjoy. I will see you tomorrow for our next live interview, which will be with Laura Wright on Empowered Women Sell with Ease. Laura is absolutely incredible. She is a powerhouse. You do not want to miss her. So I'll be on live with her tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. So I will see you all then. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of today's interviews.